Maya lived in a small, quiet town with her mother, Lila. Their house was modest, with a small garden in front and a few flowers that Maya loved to take care of. Lila worked as a maid for a wealthy businessman named Mr. Howard. Every day she cleaned his large mansion, washed his expensive clothes, and cooked meals for his family. Maya often helped her mother, but she also spent her time exploring her own curiosity. From a young age, Maya loved understanding how things worked. She would take apart broken radios, small machines, and even old bicycles, then put them back together. Her hands were always busy and her mind always full of ideas. But because she lived a simple life, no one ever noticed her talent. She fixed things quietly and happily for herself and her mother. One sunny morning, Maya was in the garden watering the plants. She liked the calm sound of water hitting the soil. Suddenly, she heard a loud noise from the mansion. It sounded like someone shouting. She put down the watering can and listened. It was coming from Mr. Howard's property. Curious, she walked closer to the gate to see what was happening. Mr. Howard had arrived at the mansion in a hurry. He was very rich and powerful, known for being strict and demanding. Today, his new helicopter had stopped working. His assistants were trying to fix it, but nothing worked. He was visibly frustrated and angry. "Why can't anyone fix this simple machine?" he shouted. "I need this ready for my trip today." Maya watched silently. She noticed the helicopter's engine cover was open, and several tools were lying around. She knew the problem was probably simple, even if the men didn't see it. Her heart beat faster with excitement. Fixing machines was her passion, and a challenge like this made her curious. Just then, Mr. Howard noticed her standing near the gate. He laughed loud and mocking. "You? A little girl from the neighborhood? You think you can fix my helicopter?" His voice carried over the yard. "I don't even know why you are here, but if you think you can, I will give you $100 million. Yes, you heard me right. Fix it and it is yours." Maya smiled quietly. She was not thinking about the money. She was thinking about the challenge. She had fixed broken things before, but a real helicopter was something new. She could feel her hands itching to work. "Show me what you can do," Mr. Howard said, still laughing. "I don't believe you can do anything. But go ahead, try." Maya walked to the helicopter calmly. She examined the engine carefully. Her mind worked fast. She noticed that one of the wires was loose and a small part of the fuel system had a blockage. For anyone else, it would have been impossible to see. But Maya had experience. She remembered all the things she had learned from books, videos, and her own experiments. She asked Mr. Howard politely, "Can I use your tools?" He hesitated for a moment. He still thought it was impossible for her to fix it. But he nodded and stepped aside. Maya began working. Her hands moved quickly and precisely. She tightened the wire, cleared the blockage, and checked all the other systems. The helicopter's engine began to look healthy again under her care. People started to gather quietly outside. Some of the mansion staff were curious, and a few neighbors had come to watch. No one had expected a small girl to even touch the helicopter, let alone fix it. Maya's concentration did not break. She moved carefully and confidently, showing skill and calmness beyond her years. After a few minutes, she stood back and smiled. "It is ready," she said simply. Mr. Howard walked over slowly, his laughter gone. He looked at the helicopter and then at Maya. He could hardly believe his eyes. The engine was running perfectly. His assistants were staring, speechless. Even the neighbors were whispering, amazed by what they had seen. Maya looked up at Mr. Howard and said, "It was just a small problem. Machines need care and attention. Anyone can fix them if they understand them." For the first time, Mr. Howard was silent. He had thought he was making fun of a girl, but now he realized she was extraordinary. Mr. Howard could not hide his surprise. He had mocked Maya only a few minutes ago, but now she had fixed his helicopter with ease. The engine hummed perfectly and the blades spun smoothly in the sunlight. He stared at her, his usual confidence shaken. "Who taught you to do this?" he asked, still trying to understand what had just happened. Maya smiled politely. "I learned by trying, reading, and watching. I like understanding how things work," she said simply. Mr. Howard's assistants were speechless. They had been trying for hours, using all their experience and tools, but none of them could fix it. A simple girl from the neighborhood had done it in a few minutes. Their embarrassment was visible, but Maya paid no attention. She only focused on the helicopter. Mr. Howard took a deep breath. "I said I would give you $100 million, he said slowly, almost as if testing if it was real. But I never thought anyone could actually do it. You have shocked me, Maya. Maya looked at him calmly. I don't need the money. I like solving problems. For the first time, Mr. Howard felt respect instead of mockery. He realized he had underestimated her. I have never met anyone like you, he said honestly. Most people are afraid of challenges, but you face them. Word about Maya's talent spread quickly. People in the town began talking about the girl who had fixed the billionaire's helicopter. Some came to her house to see her, bringing broken gadgets, hoping she could help. Maya politely helped everyone she could. She enjoyed the work, and the smiles of the people made her happy. Meanwhile, Mr. Howard could not stop thinking about her. He had never seen someone so young and so capable. He wanted to give her more opportunities, but he was also unsure how she would react. He decided to invite her to his mansion the next day. The following morning, Maya and her mother were walking in the garden when a sleek black car arrived. Mr. Howard stepped out and waved at Maya. Come with me, he said kindly. I want to show you something. Maya hesitated for a moment, then nodded. She trusted her mother, who encouraged her gently. Go, Maya. This could be a great chance, Lila said. Inside the mansion, Mr. Howard led Maya to a large room filled with machines, tools, and blueprints. This is my workshop, he explained. I have many machines that need fixing. I want you to help me. You can learn more here, and I can learn from you too. Maya's eyes sparkled. She had never seen so many machines together in one place. Each one looked like a puzzle waiting to be solved. She could feel her excitement growing. I would be happy to help, she said softly. Days turned into weeks, and Maya spent more time at the mansion. She fixed small engines, repaired broken devices, and even helped design better systems for the helicopters and cars Mr. Howard owned. Her talent was incredible, and everyone around her began to admire her. Mr. Howard noticed how quickly she learned and how careful she was with each machine. He realized she had a special gift, something rare. He started to trust her advice and even let her suggest improvements to his business. One afternoon, while fixing a small engine, Maya paused and looked around the workshop. She realized she had never imagined a life like this. From helping her mother in a small house to working in a mansion filled with machines, her world had changed completely, but she did not let pride or excitement take over. She continued her work with patience, focus, and joy. Mr. Howard watched her silently from across the room. He had once thought of wealth as the most important thing, but now he understood that talent and dedication could create more value than money alone. Maya had shown him that even someone from a humble background could achieve greatness if they had courage, intelligence, and passion. That day, as the sun set and painted the workshop in golden light, Maya finished repairing a complicated machine. She wiped her hands and looked at Mr. Howard. It is ready, she said. He nodded, smiling genuinely. Maya, you are not only talented but also wise. You have changed my perspective. I hope you know that this is only the beginning. Maya felt a warm feeling inside. She knew life was offering her opportunities she had never imagined. She was still the same girl who loved solving problems, but now her world was bigger, brighter, and full of possibilities. Maya's life had changed completely since the day she fixed Mr. Howard's helicopter. She no longer spent all her time only in her small home with her mother. Now she split her days between her family and the mansion, learning, fixing, and exploring. Each day brought a new challenge, and Maya loved every moment of it. One morning, Mr. Howard called Maya to the mansion early. He looked serious but also excited. Maya, I have a special project for you, he said. It is something no one has tried before, and I think only you can do it. Maya's eyes widened. She loved challenges, especially ones that others thought were impossible. What is it? She asked eagerly. He led her to a large, shiny helicopter that had been grounded for weeks. Its engine was unusual, filled with new technology that even Mr. Howard had not fully understood. I want you to repair this, he said. If you succeed, it will be a great achievement for both of us. Maya examined the helicopter carefully. She noticed the design was more complex than the last one. There were new wires, unusual fuel systems, and advanced electronics. But she did not feel afraid. She loved puzzles, and this was the biggest puzzle she had ever faced. For days, Maya worked in the mansion's workshop. She studied manuals, tested parts, and experimented with small repairs. Sometimes she succeeded, sometimes she failed, but she never gave up. Her mind worked like a machine itself, always analyzing, learning, and improving. Mr. Howard watched her progress closely. He was amazed at her determination. Each day he expected her to be tired or frustrated, but she always smiled and kept working.
She has more patience and skill than anyone I have ever met, he thought. Maya's mother, Lila, often visited to bring food and encouragement.
"Remember, Maya," she said one afternoon, "it's okay to take breaks. But I know you love this work." "I do, Mother," Maya replied. "This is exciting. I want to see if I can really do it." One evening, after many long hours, Maya discovered the main problem. A tiny, almost invisible wire had a bad connection, and a small fuel valve was stuck. She carefully fixed the wire, cleaned the valve, and rechecked the entire system. Her heart beat faster as she realized the moment of truth was near. "Are you ready?" Mr. Howard asked quietly as Maya climbed into the helicopter's cockpit. Maya nodded. She had learned from experience that confidence was important. She started the engine slowly. At first there was a small sputter, but then the engine roared smoothly, stronger than ever. The helicopter lifted gently off the ground, spinning its blades perfectly. Mr. Howard's eyes widened in disbelief. "She did it," he whispered. She really did it. Outside, the mansion staff and neighbors who had gathered watched in amazement. They could hardly believe a young girl from a small home had fixed such a complicated machine. Maya climbed down from the helicopter, smiling, her clothes a little dusty but her spirit shining. "This is wonderful," she said humbly. "The problem was small if you look carefully. Machines just need patience and attention." Mr. Howard approached her, his face showing pride and respect. "Maya, you are extraordinary. You don't just fix machines. You inspire people. You make them believe that nothing is impossible if you have courage and skill." The news of her achievement spread quickly. People from nearby towns came to see her, some bringing broken machines, others simply wanting to meet the girl who had shocked a billionaire. Maya welcomed everyone with kindness. She never made anyone feel embarrassed about their broken machines, and she always explained her work carefully so others could learn. Despite all the attention, Maya stayed humble. She never forgot her mother or her small home. She still spent evenings with Lila, talking about dreams, life, and the future. "You have done so much, Maya," Lila said. "I am proud of you." "I am just getting started, Mother," Maya replied with a smile. "There is so much more to learn and do." That night, as Maya lay in bed, she thought about her journey. From a small home with simple tools to a mansion filled with incredible machines, her life had changed. But she knew her journey had only begun. There were more challenges, more machines, and more opportunities to prove herself, and she was ready. Maya's reputation was growing fast. People from nearby towns were curious to see the girl who had fixed a billionaire's helicopter. But for Maya, it was not about fame. She loved the work, the puzzles, and the feeling of solving problems that seemed impossible. One morning, Mr. Howard called Maya into his office. "Maya, I have a new challenge for you," he said with a smile. "It is a machine no one has been able to repair for years. If you can fix it, it will be a great achievement." Maya's eyes lit up. "What kind of machine?" she asked, eager to learn. He led her to a large room filled with machines, some old, some broken, and one large device that looked complicated and unfamiliar. "This is an old experimental engine," Mr. Howard explained. "It was designed to be very powerful, but it stopped working a long time ago. No engineer has been able to repair it. I want you to try." Maya studied the engine carefully. It was unlike anything she had seen before. There were wires twisted together, gears that had rusted, and valves that were blocked. But Maya did not feel afraid. She loved challenges, and this was the biggest one she had faced so far. For days she worked in the mansion's workshop. She cleaned every part, checked each wire, and tested the gears. Sometimes the machine made a small sound. Sometimes it did nothing. Maya learned from every attempt. Each failure taught her something new. Mr. Howard watched her every day. He had seen many engineers work, but none with Maya's patience and skill. She did not get frustrated or give up. She simply observed, thought, and tried again. One afternoon, Maya's mother, Lila, came to bring lunch. "Maya, don't forget to rest," she said gently. "I will, Mother," Maya replied. "But I'm so close." "I can feel it," Lila smiled. She had always known her daughter was special. She watched Maya carefully adjust a small valve and tighten a tiny wire. The machine vibrated slightly. Maya's eyes widened with excitement. "It's working," she whispered. That evening, after hours of careful adjustments, Maya took a step back and looked at the engine. Every part seemed to be in place. She took a deep breath and switched it on. Slowly, the engine started to hum. The sound grew stronger and smoother. Finally, it ran perfectly without any sputter or noise. Mr. Howard entered the workshop just in time to hear the hum. His jaw dropped. "She did it," he said, barely able to speak. "She actually did it," Maya smiled calmly. "It was just a matter of patience and attention," she said. Every part needed care. Word of her success spread even faster. People from other towns, engineers, and students wanted to meet Maya. Some came with machines they could not fix, hoping she could help. Maya welcomed everyone, teaching them gently and showing them how to understand the problems. She believed in helping people learn, not just solving problems for them. Mr. Howard noticed how much people admired her. He began thinking about how to give her more opportunities. She had changed not only his perspective on talent, but also on leadership. He realized that the world needed people like Maya, brave, curious, patient, and skilled. One day, he asked her to join a special project. "Maya, I want you to help design a new type of machine," he said. "It will be unlike anything the world has seen. You can use your ideas and skills. I trust you completely." Maya's heart raced. She had never thought she would be part of designing something so important. But she loved the idea. "I will do my best," she said with determination. As she worked on the project, Maya realized something important. Talent alone was not enough. Patience, learning, and understanding were just as important. She also learned the value of kindness and helping others. People looked up to her not because she was rich or famous, but because she worked hard and stayed humble. That night, Maya sat by the window of her room at the mansion, looking at the stars. She thought about the journey that had brought her here, from a small home with her mother to a mansion full of machines and possibilities. She knew challenges would come, but she felt ready. And deep down, she understood that her greatest adventure had only just begun. Days passed quickly, and Maya continued working on the special project Mr. Howard had given her. It was a machine that could help people in many ways, something no one had ever built before. Maya loved working on it because every day brought a new challenge. She carefully studied every part, tested different ideas, and wrote down her observations. Mr. Howard watched her closely. He had never seen anyone so dedicated and skilled. Maya did not just fix things. She understood them deeply. Her ideas were thoughtful, practical, and creative. He began to realize that she could do more than just repair machines. She could invent and improve them. One morning, Maya noticed a small problem in the new project. A series of wires were not connected properly and a few gears did not move smoothly. She carefully adjusted them, making sure every connection was strong and every gear turned freely. She tested the machine again and smiled when it worked better than before. "This is incredible," Mr. Howard said as he watched her work. "You are not just talented, Maya, you are extraordinary. You have a mind that can solve problems no one else can." Maya felt happy but stayed humble. "It is just about paying attention to details and trying different solutions," she said. "Machines respond if you understand them." Word of Maya's success continued to spread. People came from all over the town bringing small machines, gadgets, and engines for her to examine. She always welcomed them with a smile and explained what was wrong with their machines. She did not mind the long hours or the attention. Maya found joy in learning, helping others, and exploring new ideas. One afternoon, Mr. Howard invited a group of engineers to the mansion. They were curious about the girl who had fixed his helicopter and repaired machines that had been broken for years. Maya politely showed them how she worked, explaining her thought process clearly and calmly. The engineers were amazed. They had years of experience, but Maya's skills and understanding were beyond what they had seen. They asked her many questions and she answered them with confidence. Mr. Howard felt proud. "She is not only skilled but also patient and kind," he said quietly to one of the engineers. As the weeks passed, Maya made significant progress on the special project. She discovered ways to improve efficiency, reduce energy use, and make the machine safer. Her creativity and intelligence impressed everyone, including Mr. Howard, who had expected only basic repairs from her. One evening, after a long day of work, Maya sat in the workshop, thinking about everything she had learned. She realized that the most important lessons were not about machines. They were about patience, dedication, and believing in herself. Even when problems seemed impossible, she could find a solution if she stayed calm and focused. Mr. Howard approached her quietly. Maya, you have done more than I ever imagined, he said. This machine will help many people because of your talent. You have shown me that anyone, regardless of background, can achieve great things if they work hard and believe in themselves. Maya smiled. I am happy to help, Mr. Howard. I enjoy learning and solving problems. That is enough for me. Her mother, Lila, visited often to see her daughter. You have grown so much, Maya, she said one afternoon. I am proud of you. I could not have done this without your support, Mother, Maya replied. You always believed in me even when I doubted myself. The project neared completion. The machine was finally ready for testing. Maya checked every detail one last time, ensuring that everything worked perfectly. She felt a mixture of excitement and nervousness. This was the biggest achievement of her life so far, and she wanted everything to be just right. Mr. Howard and a few engineers gathered to watch. Maya, you have done something remarkable, he said. Your skill and determination have made this possible. Maya took a deep breath, pressed the start button, and watched the machine come to life. It moved smoothly, efficiently, and exactly as she had planned. Everyone cheered quietly, amazed by what she had accomplished. Maya's heart swelled with pride, but she remained humble. She knew this was only one step of her journey. There were still more machines to fix, more inventions to explore, and more lessons to learn. She was ready for whatever came next. That night, Maya looked at the stars from the mansion's window. She thought about how far she had come, from a small house with her mother to working on machines that could change lives. Her journey had been incredible, but she knew the best part of her adventure was still ahead. After completing the special project, Maya felt more confident than ever. She had proven to herself and to everyone around her that she could face challenges that seemed impossible. But she knew her journey was far from over. There were always new machines, new problems, and new ideas waiting to be explored. One morning, Mr. Howard came to her with a serious expression. Maya, I have received a message from another city, he said. A company is working on a new type of vehicle. They have faced many problems, and they asked if you could help. It will be a bigger challenge than anything you have done before. Maya's eyes sparkled. I would love to try, she said. She was always excited by new challenges, especially ones that others could not solve. Mr. Howard smiled. I thought you would say that. You will leave tomorrow morning. I have arranged everything for you. This is an opportunity to learn even more and show your skills. That night, Maya packed her small bag. She was leaving her home and the mansion for the first time to work in another city. Her mother, Lila, helped her pack food and supplies. Maya, I know you will do great, she said. Remember to be patient and believe in yourself. I will, Mother, Maya replied. Thank you for always supporting me. The next morning, a black car arrived to take Maya to the city. She waved goodbye to her mother and Mr. Howard and set off on the journey. Her heart beat fast with excitement. She had no idea what kind of challenges awaited her, but she was ready. When she arrived at the company's facility, she was greeted by engineers and managers. They looked at her with curiosity and doubt. Many of them were experienced professionals, and they found it hard to believe that a young girl could help them. Maya smiled politely and said, I am here to help. Please show me the problem, and I will do my best. The engineers led her to a large, complex vehicle. It had stopped working during tests, and no one could figure out why. The team had tried everything, but the vehicle still failed. Maya examined it carefully, looking at every wire, gear, and engine part. She asked questions, observed, and slowly started testing different solutions. Days passed, and Maya worked tirelessly. She faced many small setbacks, but she did not give up. She learned from each failure and adjusted her approach. The engineers watched in amazement as she calmly solved problems they had struggled with for weeks. One afternoon, Maya discovered the main issue. A tiny sensor had been installed incorrectly, causing the entire system to fail. She carefully removed the sensor, fixed its connection, and tested the vehicle again. Slowly, the engine started working perfectly, and the vehicle moved smoothly. The engineers were speechless. They had spent weeks trying to fix the problem, but Maya had solved it in just a few days. This is incredible, one of them said. How did you figure it out so quickly? Maya smiled gently. I just looked carefully and tried to understand how everything worked together, she said. Sometimes small things make a big difference. The company manager was amazed. Maya, your skill and dedication are extraordinary. You have not only fixed the vehicle, but also taught us a new way to look at problems. Your work will help many people." Maya felt happy but remained humble. She knew that learning never stopped and that every challenge was an opportunity to grow. At night, she called her mother. "Mother, the vehicle is working now. It was a difficult problem, but I solved it," she said proudly. "I am so proud of you, Maya," Lila replied. "You are doing amazing things. Remember, always stay kind and patient." The next day, the engineers held a small celebration to thank Maya. They offered her recognition, praise, and even opportunities to stay and work with them permanently, but Maya politely declined. She wanted to return to Mr. Howard's mansion to continue learning and working on new machines there. As she traveled back home, Maya thought about everything she had accomplished. She had faced her biggest challenge yet and succeeded. She had proven to herself, her mother, and the world that talent, patience, and dedication could overcome any obstacle. And Maya knew that more challenges would come. She was ready to face them all with courage, intelligence, and a heart full of determination. Maya returned to the mansion with a sense of excitement. She had successfully solved the problem at the company in the city, and her confidence had grown even more. But she also knew that new challenges awaited her at Mr. Howard's mansion. There were always machines to repair, systems to improve, and problems that no one else could solve. One morning, Mr. Howard approached her with a serious expression. "Maya, we have an urgent situation," he said. "A new type of helicopter has been delivered. It is very advanced and no one has been able to make it work. I want you to try. If anyone can, it is you." Maya's eyes lit up. "I will do my best," she said calmly. The helicopter was unlike any she had seen before. Its engines were different, the electronics were complex, and the control system was unfamiliar. Even Mr. Howard's engineers had tried and failed to start it. Maya examined it carefully, moving slowly and observing every detail. She asked questions, studied the manuals, and slowly began testing different solutions. Days passed and Maya worked tirelessly. She faced many setbacks. Sometimes the engines would start but then stop immediately. Sometimes the electronics would give strange signals, but she did not lose hope. She learned from each attempt and adjusted her approach. Her patience and focus impressed everyone around her. Mr. Howard watched silently. He had seen her solve many problems before, but this was her biggest challenge yet. He realized how brave and intelligent she was. No one else could do this, he thought. She has a gift that is rare and extraordinary. One evening, after hours of careful work, Maya discovered the main problem. A small but crucial sensor had been installed incorrectly, and a key fuel valve was partially blocked. She carefully fixed the sensor, cleaned the valve, and tested the system again. Slowly, the engines roared to life. The helicopter's blades started moving, steady and strong. The engineers gasped in amazement. They had spent weeks trying to fix it, but Maya had succeeded in just a few days. Mr. Howard walked slowly toward her, his face full of pride. "Maya, I am speechless," he said. "You have done something no one else could do. You have proved once again how talented and determined you are." Maya smiled humbly. "I only did what I could. I just focused on understanding the problem and finding the solution," she said. Word of Maya's success spread even further. People came from neighboring cities to see the girl who had repaired machines that no one else could. Engineers, students, and even business leaders wanted to meet her. Maya welcomed everyone politely, showing them how to understand and solve problems, not just fixing machines for them. Despite all the attention, Maya stayed humble. She still spent time with her mother, helping her at home and sharing her experiences. Lila was proud and amazed by her daughter's journey. "You are changing the world, Maya," she said one evening. "But always remember to stay kind and patient." "I will, Mother," Maya replied. "I have learned that talent is important, but patience, kindness, and focus are even more powerful." Mr. Howard, inspired by her success, decided to offer her a new opportunity. "Maya, I want you to lead a special project," he said. "You will design and repair machines that can help many people. I trust your skill, judgment, and creativity." Maya's heart beat faster. She had never imagined such responsibility, but she felt ready. She knew she could handle the challenge with patience, intelligence, and determination. As she worked on the new project, she realized how much she had grown. From a small home with her mother to solving impossible problems for engineers and billionaires, her journey had been extraordinary. Yet Maya remained humble and focused. She knew that learning never stops and challenges are opportunities to grow. That night she sat by the window in the mansion, looking at the stars. She thought about her journey and all the machines she had fixed. She felt proud but also excited for the future. She understood that this was only the beginning. There were many more challenges to face, new machines to repair, and new problems to solve. Maya knew she was ready for whatever came next. Maya had worked on countless machines, solved impossible problems, and proven her skill to engineers, billionaires, and neighbors alike. But a new challenge awaited her, one that would test everything she had learned so far. One morning, Mr. Howard called her to the mansion. His expression was serious but hopeful. Maya, a new type of vehicle has been developed. It is unlike anything we have seen before. It can fly, move on water, and travel long distances safely. But it has never worked properly. I want you to try. Maya felt a rush of excitement. This was the biggest challenge of her life. She had solved complex engines and repaired advanced helicopters, but a vehicle like this was new even for her. She smiled and nodded. I will do my best, Mr. Howard. The vehicle was massive and complicated. Its engines were advanced. The control system was unusual, and its design included many unique parts. Even Mr. Howard's top engineers had spent weeks trying to get it to work. Maya studied every detail, carefully examining the engines, sensors, and wiring. She asked questions, made notes, and slowly began testing different solutions. Days passed, and Maya worked tirelessly. Each morning, she analyzed the problem. Each evening, she tried solutions, learning from mistakes and adjusting her methods. She faced difficulties that were new to her, electrical systems that gave false signals, engines that overheated, and software that did not respond correctly. Yet she did not give up. She had learned that patience, focus, and observation were just as important as skill. Mr. Howard watched quietly from a distance. He had seen Maya solve many problems, but this one was extraordinary. He realized that her talent was not just about fixing machines, it was about understanding them completely. No one else could do this, he thought. She is truly remarkable. One afternoon, Maya discovered the main problem. A tiny sensor had been installed incorrectly, and a key fuel valve had a blockage that caused the entire system to fail. She carefully corrected the sensor, cleared the valve, and rechecked every connection. She climbed into the vehicle's cockpit and took a deep breath. Ready, she said softly to herself. She started the engine slowly. At first it sputtered, but Maya adjusted the controls carefully. Then suddenly the engines roared to life. The vehicle moved forward smoothly, lifted slightly, and hovered steadily. It glided over the ground, floated on the nearby pond, and flew gracefully into the sky. Mr. Howard gasped in amazement. Engineers and staff who had been watching cheered quietly. No one could believe what they were seeing. Maya had done what everyone thought was impossible. She stepped out of the vehicle smiling calmly. It just needed careful observation and attention, she said simply. Every part has a role. When everything works together, it succeeds. Mr. Howard walked to her, pride shining in his eyes. Maya, I am speechless. You have achieved something no one else could. You have shown the world that skill, patience, and determination can overcome any challenge. You have made history today. Word of Maya's achievement spread far and wide. She was invited to share her knowledge, teach others, and inspire young minds. But she remained humble. She continued helping Mr. Howard and his engineers, showing them that learning and patience were the keys to success. Her mother, Lila, came to the mansion, tears of pride in her eyes. Maya, you have done something incredible, she said softly. I always knew you were special, but I never imagined this. Maya smiled and hugged her mother. I could not have done this without your support, Mother. You believed in me even when I doubted myself. Mr. Howard offered her the promised reward, but Maya politely declined. She had learned that true satisfaction came from solving problems, helping others, and growing through challenges, not from money alone. As the sun set, Maya stood by the window of the mansion looking at the stars. She thought about her journey, from a small house with her mother, fixing radios and bicycles, to repairing advanced helicopters and extraordinary vehicles. Her journey had been incredible, but she knew that learning never ends. Maya smiled, feeling calm and determined. She had faced impossible challenges and succeeded. She had inspired people, proven her talent, and learned the value of patience, kindness, and focus. And she knew that wherever her path led next, She was ready to face it with courage, intelligence, and an open heart. Maya's adventure had reached a remarkable milestone, but her story, the story of curiosity, determination, and extraordinary talent, was only just beginning.